Hey, I'm Serenity and this is my channel, and today we are apartment hunting together. I'm at a little bit of a different angle. I'm sitting at my desk. I don't know how the lighting is because this angle is kind of weird, but I need my laptop to do this, so we're sitting here. The doggies are over there if you're used to seeing them. But anyways, we are apartment hunting in Boston, Massachusetts as a adult who's gonna live on their own. So real quick, the reason why we're sitting right now is I have all the notes of every single, I viewed everything about them and we're gonna be discussing them. So I've spoken about it kind of. Basically, I attend the University of Massachusetts, Boston, and for my last full year straight through, I have to be on campus. I was supposed to move last year, but then I got injured and I barely was released this year for normal activity, and just moving right now would be a lot of stress, so I'm moving in January. But I did need to physically see these apartments, see where they were located and everything in proximity mainly to the school and to the city life, because I want to have a city life. So I was up in Boston for a week touring apartments and visiting the school, touring the area, seeing what area of the city I would realistically like to live in. So let's get into all the apartments I've toured. So to start, there's a couple things we need to address. I'm looking at apartments that are owned by companies, real estate companies, that sort of thing, that always have turnover abilities. Not something that maybe is owner to person, but something that is owned by a company that usually always has vacancies. So it's a little bit different than the owner renting out their apartment or subletting from someone. And the Boston real estate is kind of weird. So it revolves around September, the month of September. And that is because students move back in September. So a lot of leases start and end September all the way to August of the next year. So usually there's a lot of people moving right now back to the city or switching apartments, that sort of thing. So September, it's really hard to get an apartment, and it's also when the prices are the highest because you're moving back for college and your leases usually end. That is when the most stuff is going to be open, but also it's where you're going to get the highest prices. And lastly, Boston is one of the most expensive cities to live in, so the prices we're going to go over do reflect that. What am I looking for my apartment? What is on my list? So I have a list of I must have, and ideals. So on that list of must, we have, I need a 1-bedroom. I can't really do studio. I like to separate my work from my bed. It makes me be more productive. I want in-unit laundry. And I know people are gonna be like, in-unit laundry? I hate doing my laundry with a visceral passion. I will not do it until literally I'm out of clothes to wear. So in order to keep me on the routine that I know works for me, I have to have in-unit washer and dryer. It's what works for me. It has to be dog friendly. I am taking my dogs, Scarlett and Nova, my 2 girls, not a walk-up. As a single woman living alone, I don't think a walk-up is for me, and my family wouldn't feel safe with me living at a walk-up. It's just a safety precaution. I do want an individual thermostat and central heating. I don't want the whole floor to be controlled by one person. I want to be able to control my own heat and air. I need a lot of counter space in the kitchen. I work from home. This is my job, working from home, especially as someone who bakes for a living and cooks for a living. I need a lot of counter space. There's a lot of equipment, there's a lot of stuff. So whether that is a lot of counter space or a kitchen island, I need a lot of it, and I would actually prefer a kitchen island. I know a lot of people say they take up too much space, but from me, for someone who does this and camera angles and such, a kitchen island would actually work better, along with good counter space. And with that, good storage in the kitchen. So I work from home. A studio will not work for me because I will become depressed. I need that 1-bedroom. I need that separation, and I need an area to put a desk in, and a good sized desk, not like a little tiny desk, a good sized desk, of course, for my work and for my school. And lastly, I would like to stay under $2,900 a month. That is a lot of money that I'm used to paying for rent, but it is kind of the median average for what I'm looking for. So the ideals I want in an apartment. I want a kitchen island, like I said, but if it doesn't have one, it's okay. I want hallway storage separate from closet storage, like the bedroom closet, or a large enough closet that I can store a lot of things. So I have a lot of equipment, winter coats, that sort of thing. I would like a hall storage for that. And for my brooms, my cleaning products, and maybe even to put my shoes in the closet near the front door rather than my bedroom. Now this, we're gonna get into. Ideally, I would like a car park. We're gonna talk about cars in a minute, but ideally I would like a car park if they have one. I would like a dishwasher. I do a lot of dishes, like I keep saying. I don't mind washing by hand, but when you wash by hand, you need the drying rack, and the drying rack takes up a lot of space, I know from experience. And just having a dishwasher is so much easier for me. I would like at least one area in the apartment to have floor-to-ceiling windows, a large window to get natural light. And lastly, I would like if they have a gym with a Peloton bike, because I like to cycle. So let's start with the first apartment. The first apartment was a little more outside of the general city area. The facts about it, it is $28.50 a month, 572 square feet, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom with a kitchen island, floor-to-ceiling windows, dishwasher, a decent-sized closet in the hallway, located in a residential neighborhood kind of off to the side of the main street. The pros in it is it opened in summer of 2023, so it's pretty much brand new. There is a dog washing station, car rental, parking spots if you need it. The amenities include multiple grills on a deck kind of patio area, a pool, patio seating, dog friendly with no pet rent. There is this really cool study station kind of room that can be rented out, and it is 2 levels. So there's this whole area where you can rent out for like parties, get-togethers, and then there's stairs to go up with little like, I kind of think of like Chili's, the restaurant, like those booths, to have study areas, work areas. There is a covered garage that you have to use a key pass to get into. It is very safe. Every single door you need to use your credentials to get through, from getting into the building to getting to the elevators, to getting to your floor, every single thing. The security is pretty good. There is studio style lighting on the bathroom mirrors, trash chutes on each floor. You pay the electric bill through the apartment portal, and you only have to pay your water to the city. And then of course, like your internet, your phone, that's all separate. There is in-unit individual AC and heating, large closet and a hall closet like I said. There is under the sink storage in the bathroom, like a decent size. Coffee and hot chocolate machine in the lobby for residents at all times for free. Window shades already included, like those blackout shades. Balcony deck with fire pits and lounge seating, which is different from the other deck I was talking about. So there's 2 different ones. A dog poop station. There is a gym with a Peloton and a yoga room in that gym. There are 2 separate package rooms. So there's one room for your packages, like your Amazon packages, and then there's another room for your mail, you know, your bills, your credit card statements, that sort of thing, and you get assigned from both. There is free Wi-Fi in all public areas, so like that study station I was saying. There is cornhole on the deck with the pool, bike holding rooms. So a lot of people get around Boston either biking, using the public transportation, or having cars. So they have this room where you can leave your bike and lock it up, so it's safe and you don't have to pay extra for that. You get assigned a spot if you have a bike. And then there is tons of kitchen storage. Tons. I mean, I'm talking more than I have at my house that I live with my family in. And even the kitchen island has storage, where the agent said people usually put their trash cans under there. And the cabinets are those soft close cabinets. Now, the cons. It is pretty far from a subway station, and to get there, it's kind of through a residential neighborhood, so I'm literally walking through other people's kind of homes. Something I did not like learning about, that I did not know going in, was that a lot of apartments have a 10% on top fee of the monthly rent due to students being a liability, which is not great, especially when you are a student. And those usually fall off when you receive your final term, like semester schedule. They'll stop the fee. It's just for undergrads only, which isn't great. And this apartment has that. So that'd be another, what, $290 on top of the unit price. Another con, it is kind of hidden, which is good in a sense, but it's off a main road far from transport, so it's hidden in the fact that it is not close to transportation. So since it's kind of far from transport, if I were to get home late at night, and from when I was up there, I experienced during the summer that people are out 10 to 11 p.m. every night. If I were to get to the subway station at my stop at 11, I probably wouldn't get back home till 11:30, and walking in the dark just really isn't safe. Not to say in that city, but just in general, it's just not safe walking alone at night as a woman like that. So I would have to take Ubers constantly, and I would have to account for that. So that is a pretty big con. And as you can see, the unit, since it is in a residential kind of neighborhood, there really isn't a view. The view is into another apartment building. At apartment 1, I saw 3 different units. They varied just slightly in square footage and very slightly in price. There wasn't much difference in them. It did have an in-unit washer and dryer, which was good. It was in the bathroom, which is pretty standard for apartments. Mainly my one big thing with this one is that it is far from a subway station. That's pretty much it from transportation. So apartment number 2, I saw 2 different units, and the facts about it, it is $26.50, which is a good price decrease. 658 square feet, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, floor to ceiling windows, dishwasher, in-unit laundry, large closet, and it is the closest one to the school. With these, I'm also kind of pricing the amenities into the rent. If they are great, then I can see it being more reasonable, if that makes sense. If my amenities are good, because these prices are insane. But, you know, living in a house, I don't get a pizza oven or a pool or an in-house gym, entertainment center area. So pricing those in are important factors to me too. I want good amenities. So the pros of this second apartment we looked at is they are putting in a pizza oven in the balcony area. It is right by the water. You can actually see the water, one of the peninsula harbors. You can actually see my school from the building, which means it is very close to the school. There is a daily shuttle to the school. It is pet friendly. However, the rent is $120 per pet per month. So that is $240 on top. They do not have that 10% on top fee, which is good, but I have to factor in that it is technically another 10% on top with the pet rent. There are trash chutes on each floor, large walk-in closet that they even staged it all for me, paid parking spots, but it doesn't really feel secure. So the outside of the apartment, the parking is literally like if you were to park at a Walmart. You know, there's just parking at Walmart. It's not like protected. It's just like a general parking. So I don't even know if people who don't even live there are using the parking. And it's such a small amount of parking. It doesn't feel secure to really pay for the parking when it's not like a covered garage or assigned spots or a roped off area for my car. In unit, there is an individual AC and heating central unit. Again, a big factor for me. This had the largest gym of all the apartments I saw. So it was a 2-story gym with this spiral staircase that kind of got me a little dizzy. And the top floor was cardio. So they had rowing machines, not Pelotons, but a machine like that, those machines, a bunch of equipment for that. And then you'd go down the stairs and it was all weightlifting. Now, I will say the downstairs was bigger than the upstairs. And for me, I don't really do weightlifting. There was a staged apartment that we saw. It has the best amenities out of all of them that come included with your rent. Now, I should have gotten a video of this. I didn't, but there was a selfie lounge with multiple ring lights set up, a whole big LED light moon chair you could sit on, a flower wall with LED lights. There was multiple TV stations, multiple arcade games, multiple work pods. All of these were LED lights. Like the whole building had the rainbow colors. They were rainbow colors, and each floor was assigned a color. So everywhere you go, there was a lot of different colors. They had 3 antique arcade games like Pac-Man, those sort of things. Work pods, a courtyard with kind of just some lounge chairs. There is a TV room that can be rented, and it has like a sink, which is right next to the courtyard kind of area for like your food and stuff, and a dishwasher you can use after you host your little party. Bike storage in-house, and then in that big entertainment room with the arcade games and study pods and selfie lounge, there is a large 90-inch TV, I would say, and couches you can lounge on. It felt a lot like dorms with community spaces, if that makes sense. And internet is included in your rent. So that is a plus. But here comes my cons. The biggest con for me, it is located right next to a highway. I mean, if I walk 200 feet outside of the front door of the apartment, I'm gonna be on the highway. That is not safe. That was not advertised on the website when I looked at it. That was not told to me when I communicated with the agents. That's not safe to be right next to a highway. And on top of that, it's right next to a gas station that constantly has activity, and the gas station is like 100 feet away. So both of these are located right on the I-93. That doesn't feel safe. With that, there is no place to walk the dogs on property. It wouldn't even feel safe to walk my dogs on the sidewalk to get them to a park nearby, because we're right on a highway and right next to a gas station. There really is no place to even take my dogs down in the morning to go do their business in the morning. And you're probably like, Serenity, you keep talking about your dogs. you are new here, I love my dogs. They're very, very important to me. Literally, one of them just went right now. They're in practically every video of mine. Somewhere in the background, they are sleeping right there. And one of the biggest things that constituted to me wanting to live alone, besides being when I move, I'll be 22, is my dogs. They're very important. So not even just having a place where I can take them downstairs in the morning to do their business real quick. I mean, it doesn't even have to be like a designated dog kind of potty station. Just a patch of grass in the front, in the back of the building, something where I can just take them down in the morning and they can do their business real quick. There's nothing of that. I don't think I said it for the first one, but there was a fully equipped dog washing room and station in the first apartment where they had the shampoo, the conditioners, drying hoses, whatever you use. Everything you see on like dog grooming talk, they had in that room. Free of use, first come, first serve. You can wash your dogs every day of the week if you want. For pet owners, they also had TVs all over the main common areas that had the pet of the month, which for me, I would love that. I would love seeing my pet up there. I would love seeing other people's pets and to know that, oh, maybe I can get together with other dog owners in my building and have play dates and stuff. In this, there was no real place for the dogs. And if you're going to be charging me $240 a month in pet rent and not really have any designated spot where I can at least let my dog go pee-pee in the morning, there was no dog washing station, which isn't on my list of things I need, especially since I have huskies. When I commit to washing them, well, I usually just take them to a groomer, but when I commit to washing them, that's a whole day affair. So a dog washing station isn't a need or an ideal for me, but I'd like to know if I have it. You know, sometimes my dogs, they get into mud at the park and I just need to rinse their paws off real quick. When I brought up not having a dog washing station, the agent told me they had deep tubs, which makes up for it. Once you're on the outside of the building, it does not really feel safe being basically on the highway and next to a gas station with no real like designated sidewalks. So we were actually dropped off in our Uber at the gas station and had to walk across the street, like a busy street, to get to the building. There's no subway station nearby. So you'd have to literally walk, either take the shuttle to my school and then take the shuttle that the school provides to students to the red line just to get to the subway, which is already, how often is the shuttle? And if I just wanted to walk to the subway, it's at least 30 minutes on foot, basically walking on the highway. Now, it's not in a sketchy neighborhood, it's just that it's literally on the highway. So with that, if I got home late, just like the first one, I would either have to account for Uber prices or just not walk at night, that sort of thing. It's the same safety issue. Lastly, the thing I did not like is when the agent, which makes no sense to me because I literally was discussing with some other agent or office manager or something because I had appointments booked for every single apartment. But when I arrived in my application, in my inquiry, I said, I am looking for January. I'm touring now because I need to tour a bunch of apartment buildings to see what I want. And that's literally on my inquiry form that I talked back and forth with this agent with. When I got there, the agent was someone different and they really rushed our tour when she learned that I would not be signing that day on an apartment. So that didn't leave a right taste in my mouth. So honestly, we were only there for like 10-15 minutes. Start to finish. I guess it leaves a bad taste in my mouth because as soon as she heard I wasn't going to sign that day, she kind of just brushed me off. This was back in July, by the way, early July. Whether I'm gonna sign to move into September, I still had other apartments to look at. So she just brushed me off right there and really rushed through the tour that honestly, I don't even remember getting a good layout of the building because that's how quick we were going in and out of places. But the last positive is there was a trash chute on every floor. So I guess just for me, besides the agent, the con for me is it did feel like a dorm apartment, mainly because its location, it's not really near transportation. The closest thing is the school. It had a lot of great amenities, but those amenities feel more like they're geared towards college kids. And how often am I really going to be playing a arcade game? And how many people bring their friends over to do that stuff? I don't really want a loud apartment building just because I like to keep to myself. Also, the mail room was right when you walked in. So there was no hidden place for your mail. There wasn't a separate mail room. The main entrance that you get into the building, the mail room was right there. I could see everyone's mailboxes. The last apartment is where I saw 3 units, a courtyard view, a city view, and then a water view of the harbor. The facts of it, it is $32.50 a month. It is 637 square feet. Now I did see 3 units, so the price kind of ranges based on the view, and the units with the water views are a little bit more square feet, and the unit with the city view is a little more square feet, but that also means they're a little bit more. So it is 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a kitchen island, floor-to-ceiling windows, dishwasher, large walk-in closet, in-unit washer and dryer. This had the best location in the city and the proximity to the trains and bus stations. It had the best proximity to the city in general, walking distance to a bunch of places I could see myself hanging out at. And it also had the best proximity to the subway stations of multiple lines and the bus stations, which was important to me. Now, the pros in this is it was opened in winter of 2023, so it is not even a year old yet. It is the sister property to the first building, and you can really see that in the video. They have a lot of similar elements in the apartments, except the first building I saw, the kitchen and elements were white, like white countertops, and these, they were brown. Not a big deal, either of them to me. It's a great location in the city, one of the up and coming neighborhoods in Boston. There is a vet office nearby, again, great for me. And when you get your keys, you actually get a coupon for your pets at this vet office, which is good because one of my dogs, she does not like the car. I mean, she'll tolerate it, but she hates the car. So being able to walk her to the vet office every 6 months for her checkups would be good. There is a totally separate package room where your packages are delivered, and then there is a mail room where your packages are delivered. Just like the first 2 totally separate things, you have a little mail box that you get a key to, and then you have a package mailbox that you get a key to. And there is also a zero waste fill station in the package room. So what that means is, say you run out of detergent, hand soap, shower gel, all those like main things we all use. They have this, if I can find a picture, I'll pop it on screen. This machine where you can refill those items. So you're in the middle of laundry, you run out of soap, or maybe you just don't want to go to the store to get soap. You can bring your own bottles down and pay, I think it was like 20 cents an ounce. It was definitely cheaper than buying a brand new bottle of detergent or so. And that is a station they have on hand. They also are expanding the station to have more household products. So like floor cleaner, dish soap for like the dishwasher, all your household products you use on a daily, they had a station for. And what was cool is that they were actually the brands I use. It is pet friendly. There is no pet rent. I should say for all these apartments, it was 2 pets per apartment. And there is breed restrictions, but mine were perfectly fine. And weight restrictions, but again, mine were fine. I really did like the real estate agent. The real estate agent was very nice. He gave great advice on the city as a newcomer, how quick I can get to certain subway stations, that sort of thing, where a local dog park is, which Wi-Fi company is the best to get, how they will help set that up with me, all that sort of thing, as like just as in general as a new person moving to Boston. And one of the biggest questions I had going in is if I would take my car. I knew Boston was a lot of walking, but my question was if I was going to take my car or sell my car. That's why it was important to have car parks, and this one also had, it wasn't like a covered garage, but it was a secluded garage area to park your car, and that was an extra fee, but they had it. But the one thing I went in the whole trip was if I needed to take my car. I have decided against taking my car and selling it. He gave great advice that he's been in the city for 10 years and has never had a car, compared to someone like me from Texas, where if you don't have a car, you don't get around. They have a lawn out kind of in the front that they do free concerts on during the summer and spring months. And on that same lawn, they also do Pilates and yoga on the weekends, like taught classes for free. They had a dedicated Pilates yoga room with mood lighting you could change, with all the equipment you can use, like the provided mats, everything. It was a good sized gym. It had a lot more cardio stuff. And they also had memberships to the elk bikes that you get with your rent. So they had the elk bikes, I'm not saying that, it's not the Peloton, but it's a brand like Peloton, around the same price range, where they had a rowing machine and the stationary bike, and with your rent, you get a free membership to both of those. So that's a good deal, especially as someone who likes to cycle. There was work pods with their own designated closed door. Tons of kitchen storage in units. Coffee and kombucha and tea station on tap. So if you've been to a Dunkin', inside a Dunkin' recently, you see that they have their like drinks on tap now, like the cold brew. So they had a station for that in this general like lounge area where you could get free kombucha, cold brew, or tea. It was black and hibiscus tea for free every day. There was a large TV room with nice couches that you can close off the doors in. It's first comes, first serve. So if I want to watch a Formula One race at 6 a.m. on a Sunday, if I'm in there first, no one can tell me anything. But if like someone else wants to come in and watch it with me, that's perfectly fine. But I am first come, first serve. And in that room, there is your own mood lighting, so you can adjust them. There's an entertainment room that can be rented for parties. Every single area of like the general lounges can be adjusted using mood lighting. So they have like cool and warm tones, literally like selfie lighting, I guess. It would be the easiest. Cool and warm tones, and then like how bright you want it. In front of the mirrors, on every single floor, there is a selfie light mirror that you can change. So there is not a selfie lighting in the bathroom, but there is a selfie light mirror next to every single elevator. The color of the apartments, like hallway and lounge area, the furniture colors, is green. And if you know anything about me, you know my favorite color is green. I love green like people love pink. I love it. So I was very happy about that. It's a minor detail, but I really liked it. You pay the electric through the apartment, and you just have to pay water to the city on top of course, your like Wi-Fi and phone bill. And there are trash chutes on every floor. That is included in your rent. The like waste, is it called? Like waste management fee? This had a really large walk-in closet. I don't remember if it had a hallway closet, but it has a really large walk-in closet that I could fit my camera equipment in there and everything on top of my clothes and on top of buying even more clothes. It was really big. Each unit has individual heating and AC. There is a lot of under the sink storage in the bathroom. There are paid parking spots. Coffee and hot chocolate machine in the lobby every day for free. You can get it multiple times a day. So like the first apartment, I'm saying because they're sister buildings, the first apartment had a drawers in the kitchen island, and that one was movable. So if I wanted to move the kitchen island, I could move it. The same for this one. The kitchen island is movable, but instead of having drawers in the kitchen island, it actually had open shelved storage on the side, which I thought would be really pretty to either display like plates and stuff, or maybe like books, recipe books. I liked both of those kitchen islands, having storage in them too. Okay, these are the two biggest things I loved about this apartment. So they're in this general lounge area where it's a huge lounge area. I want to say it's like a fourth of a floor, which is a really big apartment building. So with that, there was the tea machine. There's a bunch of couches just to lounge around, the work pods, that separate quote unquote TV room that has barn doors to close it. But in that, there's also a full-fledged kitchen minus a fridge, a fully working washing dishwasher, a full-fledged oven and sink. And I know you're thinking, are you really going to use that? Well, with content creating and being a baker, which you kind of see on my long form videos, but they're mostly on my short form videos, it is very important to me to have not necessarily like the nicest looking equipment and stuff, but having the option to, if I need to get out from my apartment, or maybe my apartment oven isn't working or something, to have the ability to go and use a totally different oven and film content over there. Sometimes I just need a change of scenery. Every couple months I need a change of scenery, so my content changes just a little. Like I'll switch up the fonts on things. I will maybe edit lighting a little different. To have the ability to leave my kitchen and go use a totally different one, it sounds kind of crazy, but I really like that. And I think one of the biggest selling points besides that extra kitchen that I can use is that it is the only apartment where I actually saw people coming in and out of the building. So when we got there, I had to wait about 20 minutes before my tour because I was early. And while waiting in the main lobby, I saw a bunch of people coming in and out, just living their daily life. Obviously, people who lived there. So I saw other residents, and I also saw about 3 other dog owners. So it was nice for me to see my dogs, the potential, see that my dogs can have other dog friends, actually see that people are liking living there, people are living there, because at the other ones, I didn't see anyone besides the like apartment staff. Also on the main balcony, like courtyard area, there was a bunch of grills. There was not a pool, but they had a bunch of grills. A pool isn't really like necessary for me because they're only open May through September. I can go swim elsewhere. On the main balcony area, I can look out at the ocean. So if I don't get an apartment with an ocean view, I still have the ability to go sit outside and get fresh air and look at the ocean. They also had blinds, like those blackout blinds that I mentioned in the first apartment. There was floor-to-ceiling windows in both the bedroom and the living area. So right now they are building a dog park for the doggies to use and do their business. So right now doggies are going on the main lawn where they're hosting concerts and yoga. On that lawn they also have beach lounge chairs for residents to use, but they are working on getting a dog park area up by the end of the year. I mean, I literally saw the construction area for it. Cons, the dog park isn't done. There is an area that my dogs can go, but there necessarily isn't an area dedicated for them. They did have a dog washing station, but it isn't completed yet. They are working on getting that like hose dryer thing and free shampoo and conditioners and all that product for your dog, but the station to wash them as long as you bring your own products is there. Now a big con is they have that 10% on top fee for students due to it being a liability, so that's an extra what, $325 on top. And the biggest qualm is its price. I really loved this apartment. I really loved the location in the city. The other two were pretty close to the school. I mean, number 2 was right there next to the school, but they're closer to the school. This one is in a part of the city where I can see myself hanging out in a lot. It is the closest to city life, the general area, but it's because of that, its price is pretty high. However, the agent did tell me that since they opened in December, they have a couple people who said they're not going to be signing a second year. So all those apartments are going to be empty and the prices will drop in December because, like I said, Boston revolves around September time. So the price I'm looking at now, he said, could go down a couple $100s, which would be great. Those are all the apartments I toured. Let me know what you think down below. What is the best? What you would do personally? I'm not giving you the names yet because I could end up in any of these, or I could end up in a totally different apartment I didn't view. But mainly this trip was to get a feel of the area, to see what I want in an apartment, to see mainly how big they are in comparison to what I'm used to living in a house. Let me know if you are from Boston, any tips you have, or let me know if you liked any of these. I honestly have, obviously my favorite is number 3. Number 2, I will not be looking at again. She's done. Bye-bye. But I could end up in a totally different apartment as it gets closer to that time. Again, these are ones that are owned by companies, so they obviously always have availability compared to something by owner, subletting. Any tips on living on your own or any moving tips you have for me, let me know, especially since I'm moving in winter. As always, as a palette cleanser, the doggo picture of the day is going to be this picture of Holland. Now, Holland is not going to be moving with me. She is my brother's dog, but she likes to guard our bedrooms. She's such a Gemini, so that was her guarding my room. All my socials are linked down below. Follow me if you want to. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't already, turn on that bell if you want to. I'm very excited on this new chapter of living on the East Coast. I've only ever lived in the South. Specifically, I've only ever lived in Texas. It's gonna be different. I'm excited to actually have seasons, and I'm excited for the Boston content to come. This is just like the beginning of it. I have 2 other videos on my trip and my tips. Check those out. I'm excited for what I have planned. And yeah, so love you, mean kisses, don't think stupid, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt